In this episode, I'm announcing to the world, or rather my neighborhood, that I've applied for a building permit. As the law of the land prescribes, I'm putting up the official announcement poster which my municipality has sent me. But first, we need to build a board to attach it to. We also make a start with cleaning up the bedroom upstairs and take a closer look at the foundations of my old house. Watch until the end to find out how that all goes down.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the site, welcome back to rebuilding number 73. As you can see, last time we were filming it was still very cold and it was still very much winter, and in the meantime spring is fully on its way. We're actually halfway through spring already, and you see the garden has sprung up to life. It's very green, very lush, actually a little bit too lush to my liking. The garden, as you can see, is starting to, well, that's a bit overexposed, but basically the grass, the nettles are starting to take over again. But it's definitely nicer weather than when we last were filming. In the meantime, quite a lot of stuff has happened off camera. I have been spending quite some time with my architect finalizing and then submitting the building permit, so that took the focus. And actually today I'm on site to prepare the next step in the permitting process, which is that I need to have an official, basically, poster hanging out so that people from the neighborhood can see that I have made a permit request and that they can submit any feedback if they would want to. So I need to prepare some stuff for that. I don't have the poster yet. I'll get it in a couple of days, and then I basically immediately have to make that visible. So I'll already make some kind of a board to which I can stick that poster. I will do that today. And as well, my architect has asked if I can investigate a little bit better how the foundations look like today of the old house. And I'll explain why we want to know that a bit later. So with that, I will get started though with showing you some of the work, some of the cleanup I have been doing in the meantime off camera, so that you know basically the latest status of the cleanup of the house, and then we'll get into making that board for the poster of the permitting process. Okay, so let's first check in what work has happened in the meantime. So I have been cleaning up the little side shed. It's not yet completely cleaned up, but at least one can enter. It was a huge mess here, and I collected the bigger pieces, brought them out to my piles of waste, and the smaller stuff I've been putting into these plastic bags. So at least the chaos is more contained. Let's see. And if we head back outside, you can see basically the round and metals again. If you go back inside, it's a little bit dark. And you head back upstairs through some sketchy stairways and get to the first floor. And I have also been at work here in the old bathroom, which was also a complete mess. I'll see if I can throw in some of the before footage. But I basically emptied it out, took away most of the furniture, and threw the old clothes and other stuff that was here in those plastic bags. So this room is mostly emptied out as well, right? Okay, the first thing I'll need to do is to find some materials to make my board for my permit poster. So I need a pole and basically a flat piece of wood. I have the rough sizes of what the poster will be like. So I've come to my pile of waste wood, and I should be able to, find some suitable materials here, I guess. Okay, I think I found a suitable piece of wood. I'll shorten it a little bit. I took my circle saw with me, so I can shorten that up to the right size, and then I have a wooden pole, and so I'll just have to make sure I can connect the two to one another in a bit of a sturdy way. Maybe it is actually smarter to use a square pole. Okay, so I'm a bit in doubt which screws I should use. I did make the mistake of not bringing my drill, only my impact driver, so I can't pre-drill the holes for the screws. So I'm kind of thinking to go with a little bit smaller screws to avoid the wood is splitting. I just hope that it's sturdy enough. So I've marked out, it's so bright today, not sure if you see that, but I marked out where to put the screws, so I'm gonna try to give that a go with the smaller screws, and let's see where we end up. Okay, that actually went a lot quicker. It's basically ready, ready for now. And then when on Monday I get the poster from the municipality, I'll put it on here, I'll stick it on here, and I'll put a foil on top to protect it from the rain, because it has to be out there for about a month. So if it's raining a lot, the poster might not hold out. In the meantime, I laid my hands on the permit poster, so I'm gonna attach that to the board that you saw me make earlier in this video. And well, then I'm gonna stick the board into the ground at the street side, and then I should be totally in order with my legal obligations in the permitting process here. Okay, I'm done with putting the poster on the board, and I'm now gonna place it at the street side. I won't be filming that because then the smart people among you could immediately locate me and my address, which doesn't sound like the best thing to do. As I mentioned in the beginning, my architect has basically asked me to investigate the foundations of the existing house. As far as I can tell, it's basically just a brickwork foundation, so brickwork that goes down into the ground, but we don't know exactly how deep it is, whether there is any form of concrete. We really would be surprised if it is, because this house is about at least 100 years old. But we want to find out what's below there to inform also the new foundation. We have the results from the soil investigation that you saw during the previous episode, and that indicates that there is a lot of clay, a lot of loam, which has the tendency to expand and contract in periods of wetter conditions and drier conditions. And yet this house doesn't show any, at least the main house, doesn't show any major cracks after 100 years, as far as we can tell. So it seems that with a relatively old school, not so strong foundation, it has been able to withstand the test of time. So I just want to get a better idea, because that is then information I can feed back again to the structural engineer, who is going to determine the dimensioning, especially the depth of the foundation for the new house, right? And I want to basically have as much information as possible to come to a good solution, and also a solution that is not necessarily over-engineered, because that just makes things more expensive than they strictly need to be. And so I am planning to basically dig down to the foundation over there in this corner, and I hope I don't come across stonework or anything, but we'll see, right? But that's the idea, and that's the goal of this task. Okay, turns out this is quite hard work. I dug a reasonable hole already. It's 2.5 stones deep. But the deeper you go, the wider you need to make your hole to reach at the bottom. So yeah, I'm doubting whether this is actually a feasible idea to do with just a manual spade. I'll continue a little bit and then evaluate whether this is reasonable, or if it's something I can check maybe at a later stage once I have a digger on site. So I came to a decision. I'm not gonna continue digging that hole. It doesn't seem to be the best way forward for that. It's not that urgent, and so instead I'll try to use my time better this afternoon by tackling the cleanup upstairs. Right, so I'll try to make a start with cleaning up the bedroom upstairs. I think at the moment that's actually a better idea.
I'm losing battery on the camera, and I'm more or less done, so I'm gonna wrap up for today. I have a little bit of cleanup left to take the stuff, the bigger stuff that I removed from the bedroom to the piles in the back here, and then I'm done for today. So I did a little bit different things than I originally anticipated, but that's sometimes how it goes, right? Sometimes, like with digging the hole, I originally didn't think it through too much, and while I was getting at it, I realized it is not the most pragmatic approach to find out what's down below the foundation. So that's sometimes how it goes. You're just plants, so I also still want to show that, because that's just part of doing a project like this. With that, thank you very much for joining once again at Rebuilding number 73. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Bye.